Things that I love about Boston: it's a beautiful city. The summertime is great. There are a lot of things to do if you like outdoorsy stuff.
There's lots of green spaces, which is really nice at times that we're living in right now.
There's a lot of very nice hiking places very nearby.
The fact that this place is still gorgeous and beautiful, even on a rainy day, is a huge telltale sign that this is a good place to live.
You can see the foliage, which is in full force right now, as you can see over there.
So we have a nice little park near our apartment.
I get to go on walks with this view.
And we love to, as much as we can, take even a short walk.
One of the greatest reasons I love living here is all the outdoor space, all the greenery, how awesome it is to just walk around.
Right now we're on our walk, and with the most special guest, beautiful baby boy Moti.
Enjoy walking along the Charles River or try some kayaking during summer.
It was from going to the walk along the Charles, the Esplanade, so that really inspired me to take up a hobby of running.
One of the things I do like about Boston is the old architecture, the fact that they got fire escapes. I'm from Texas, so we didn't really have any fire escapes.
So this is the main drag of Salem. It's the Salem Main Street. It's a lot of fun. It has a lot of kooky stores. During Halloween, this whole place gets turned into a giant carnival.
So I like to come out here and relax and think after shift, and I can see a nice view of the city. Boston.
Here we are at Hex, which is one of the many old-timey shops of witch-related things in Salem.
I've recently taken up tennis.
If you're a sports person, there are all the sports teams here that are awesome, often really good, depending upon the season.
Everybody in Boston plays tennis apparently, so since I started playing tennis, I've been able to connect with so many different people, so that's been a ton of fun.
When I'm not in the gym, I like to spend time with my friends and family and with my husband.
We also have Vampire Fangs, one of my favorite stores, if only because they only sell vampire fangs.
I'm into astrophotography, so I like to take pictures of the moon using my telescope.
You can also take advantage of free entrance to the Museum of Fine Arts on Wednesdays afternoon.
There are beer gardens, pop-up wineries, and all these kinds of things that I got to do last summer to meet people.
I love seafood, so, being in Boston is the best spot.
I didn't know before I got here that Boston didn't believe in happy hour or bottomless mimosas, but that's okay.
I'm out with my buds, Amani from surgery, and Natalie from orthopedic surgery.
One of my favorite bars is here, which is Blossom Bar.
And we're about to have sangria. Salud. Salud.
There's an awesome array of different cocktails.
My favorite restaurant actually is in Rosendale, which is about 10 minutes from here. It's called Delfino. It's an Italian seafood restaurant.
So some of my favorite places are the Daily Catch, which is a seafood restaurant.
A lobster roll or clam chowder is always very nice.
Suya Joint is one of my favorite spots. It's a Nigerian restaurant.
Scouring Boston for the best truffle fries.
And there are a ton of Black-owned restaurants in Boston. I try to support Black-owned restaurants as much as possible while I'm here.
Enjoy being in Boston. Have fun.
So, yeah, we hope that you come here, and if you come, look me up and we'll get some Suya Joint together.
When I was looking for an internal medicine residency program, I really wanted a place that had excellent primary care training, that focused on social medicine and advocacy.
Because I really wanted to be trained by the best.
The thing that I was most passionate about was taking care of patients with skin of color, dark-skinned patients.
And I also really wanted to develop some mentors in specifically pediatric emergency medicine, which I've been able to do.
And then also a place in an institution that's truly partnered with the community that it serves.
And the Harvard program, when I did my interview here, was very passionate about supporting me in that goal and improving their skin of color clinics and presence.
I'm happy to say I found all of those things at CHA.
And in the 1 year that I've been here, the program has completely supported me in expanding our skin of color clinics here.
I brought you to one of my favorite places, which is my primary care site, the Windsor Street Clinic. So it's this building right next to me, and I feel like it really represents and exemplifies that institution-community partnership that makes CHA so unique.
I'm really thankful that I get to use my Spanish every day in clinic.
I have a largely Spanish-speaking patient panel because I speak Spanish.
And that we just have a ton of resources to help our patients out in clinic or within the hospital systems at large.
I find that like the people are really what makes the residency program special, and it's really what makes my community feel like wholesome.
We have these nuclear families of 3 residents, and we have our chief residents who are our parents.
Each of the internal medicine classes at CHA only have 8 residents. So it's an intimate group of people. It's a solid group of people.
So I think it's a very interesting system where we definitely have residents who support us, and of course there's program leadership who support us as well, and we can reach out to them if we have any concerns or issues.
Both institutions have centers for diversity and inclusion that offer mixers and gatherings, funded opportunities to go to sporting events where you get to just interact with other people in other disciplines and other training programs.
One of the groups that I'm most active with within our union is the Diversity Working Group. And through this group, we were actually able to mobilize a lot of the support frameworks and systems for our residents.
A lot of these residency programs do have committees to get involved in, including medical ethics, advocacy, and so many others.
I've really been able to lean in and meet a bunch of different people that I've befriended over the years.
I can honestly say that feeling of community and collegiality persisted throughout all 4 years while I was at Beth Israel.
I really have found so much power in those relationships that I've formed, and the kind of work that we've done together, and that's been certainly one of the most fulfilling things about being a resident here.
We have all the groups, the WhatsApps, the group meetings, all those things to keep us all connected and create a more Boston-wide Black resident community.
So there are definitely a lot of opportunities to find your niche and get involved.
Highly recommend coming to Boston. You guys will have fun. We're really developing a community here of diverse residents, and we're excited to have you. Take care.
I just woke up from a somewhat restful day's sleep, about to go into one of 4 nights in acute at MGH. Here we go.
Boston is the perfect combination of a city and a town.
It's a city, but it's not a large city. It seemed like the perfect size for me.
Actually, I never lived in Boston before this, and had unfortunately heard some negative things coming in, but have actually been pleasantly surprised.
We have the historic Beacon Hill neighborhood with that beautiful Gold State House.
It has all of the great things that a city offers: sports, arts, great scientific community.
Lots of history packed into this town.
The diversity, actually, on a day-to-day basis, I feel like I'm interacting with a much more diverse population than I anticipated.
As a Southern California native, even the winters are special here in Boston.
So I have to commute a lot, and I get around by driving.
What's nice is that it's incredibly walkable.
So I have always been a driver. I lived in Chicago and in DC before Boston.
I moved from Atlanta, where I was using my car to get around everywhere, and so it's just been a really nice welcome change.
I bought a car and drive to work.
You do not necessarily need a car to live in Boston.
I prefer to drive.
I can go and run errands right after work and just walk around.
To me, it's a drivable city. Some people say that it's terrible, but I have no problem driving around Boston.
I'm welcoming you to Boston here in Jamaica Plain.
Beautiful Boston skyline. There's a hospital. And I live right back there.
The cool thing about this area is that a lot of the neighborhoods are based around squares.
I actually live in West Roxbury, which is another town in Jamaica Plain.
I personally live in Inman Square, which is right behind me.
West Roxbury is not as diverse as I would like it to be, but I think that's changing.
Each of the squares will have like a post office, a grocery store.
We're just a mile away from the Harbor Arboretum, where we often go running. The Jamaica Pond is less than a minute away.
I actually live with my fiance in a neighborhood called Fields Corner, which is in Dorchester.
If you're a person of faith, there are many, many different faith communities here that you will be happy to find that you'll be able to be part of.
It's probably the most diverse area in Boston.
Salem, this is the city I live in. It's about 20 minutes north of Boston.
You and I both live in the South End, which is actually pretty awesome.
And it is the Witch City, which is why I am here next to our statue of Samantha Stevens from Bewitched.
It's one of those beautiful places of Boston that has some awesome like old architecture and brownstones, and then has a bustling restaurant and bar scene.
So I live in one of the newer high-rises in the Fenway area.
Figured I'd give you guys a tour of the Cambridge crib. So we got the kitchen here, pretty small. Really all I need though. And then the living room, which gets amazing natural light. I love that.
You have easy access to really all the different areas in Boston. It's close to the T. It's well situated between a lot of the various hospitals that many people train at here.
One thing I want to mention about Boston, which is very important for me, is where I get my hair done. I actually get it done in another neighborhood called Roslindale.
As well as a barbershop, it's the place I can get my hair cut reliably, specifically a place called Everything Is Real that I go to quite frequently.
There's many, many other places here in Jamaica Plain to get your hair done. You just Google Dominican Hair Salon.
And I live right opposite to Target and Star Market, so in terms of groceries, that's all covered, which is amazing.
And most importantly has a TV, which is what I use to unwind after shift. Just finished our overnight shift. Whoop, whoop,
Just
whoop,
coming on.
Whoop, whoop.